Growing up watching Arthur, and even as an adult, I always thought of him as a black character until I saw this last scene.
Never imagined you'd write a graphic novel.
Me neither.
Oh my God!
If it wasn't for Tony,
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning back in. I'm back with another video, and this is going to be a real fun, spontaneous, conversational, food for thought type of video. And this is going to be about Arthur and whether or not you or the creators, the animators, considered him a black character.
And I say, hey.
Before this gets out of hand, because you know this could be a fun conversation, it could be a thoughtful conversation. Some people always want to take it to another level. We know this is a cartoon. They're anthropomorphic characters. They're supposed to be animals. But even when I was younger, and as I got older and I used to rewatch the episodes, as I rewatch some of the episodes now, I still felt like they purposely tried to make some of the characters a certain race or ethnicity. You know, some aspects they even brought like religion into it. Arthur and the other characters had a lot of cultural moments on the show. And basically, from the beginning, just based on looks, I always thought that Arthur and his family was a black family.
Listen to your heart, listen to the beat.
And I'm gonna go down the line and I wanna see if y'all agree with me, right? I thought Arthur was black. I thought Francine was black, but with the episodes that they did with her, she was like black, Jewish. I thought Buster was white. George, with the antlers, I thought he was black. Muffy, now Muffy and Banky and Sue Ellen, because they were like the yellow, lighter characters, there's been a lot of like mixed opinions. But I always thought that Muffy was black, she was just light skinned. I thought the same with Banky and Sue Ellen, but a lot of people I saw thought that Banky was like Puerto Rican.
Wait a minute, hold on.
And there's even been some people that think that Sue Ellen was like biracial. To me, it's interesting how you could watch a show like Arthur, where they're obviously anthropomorphic, they're animals, but just based on the physical appearances, based on certain episodes, watching the show over the last 25 years, right? You would pick up on these nuances that, oh, that's a black character. Oh, that's a white character. That's a black character, she's just light skinned or Puerto Rican or Asian. I feel like in some ways Arthur alluded to the fact that the characters were a certain race or supposed to represent a certain culture. It just wasn't overtly said. Oh, and I forgot to mention the Brain. I thought he was black too. And in one of the episodes, they had him celebrating Kwanzaa. So now let's get into the meat of this discussion. The All Grown Up episode, which is essentially the last episode of Arthur ever. This is the final wrap up of the show. The last of the characters. This is supposed to be them 20 years into the future. Like, oh, they grown up now, right?
well, what are you waiting for? Read it to us.
Am I the only one who was a little underwhelmed? Like, I remember around 2 years ago when it first came out, and it was this big thing, and it's like, oh, all grown up, Arthur, they all grown up, 20 years later, it's coming out. I finally watched the episode when it premiered on PBS, and I was like,
The lowest is what? 0.
Some people loved it, some people liked it, you know, some people got emotional over it, but I didn't feel like that satisfaction. Something about it felt off to me. And a major thing with that was how Arthur looked.
You're the only ones who have ever seen it except for my publisher.
Who are you? Who?
Honestly, like I said, growing up, I thought Arthur was a black character. So the hair choice they gave him, the 8, 10 chin hairs, it was like, it threw me off. You realize with the male characters, whether they were like men or like little boys or teenagers in the Arthur universe, they didn't really give the men hair like that. They kept it as like almost like a blank slate. Like most of them were like bald, or the main thing with the men was just to show the heirs, depending on the animal they were. Arthur, Brain, Banky, Mr. Ratburn, you know what I'm saying? Buster. All you saw was the heirs. Now the girl characters, the woman characters, they gave them different hairstyles. And even the characters that I thought were black, like Arthur's mother, Francine, DW, I just thought of them as having like permed hair. Because remember, In one of the first episodes, Francine got her hair done. She got it washed and blow dried. It was an afro.
Oh, if only she had hair like yours. I think it's great.
So when I saw Arthur's final design 20 years later, they've been kids, they've been 9, 10 years old forever, right? That same yellow sweater. You want to see how Arthur looks. That's the best design y'all chose?
Hold up, wait. Oh my God, hold up.
Just because I thought Arthur was black, that don't mean that they had to give him an afro or hair like mine or give him like, you know, waves with a sharp hairline. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have to do all that. My thing is, as many episodes of Arthur previously, before that, where they aged Arthur and they kept him bald-headed. All you saw was his ears. They may have gave him like 3 little lines, but they just kept him with no hair. You see, this is one of the episodes they did a few years ago where Arthur and his friends had grew up, and this is in the original animation style. And look, the guys have no hair, but you can tell they look older, especially Buster. Francine and Muffy, you can tell with the hairstyles and the face, there's some maturity there, right? There was no reason for them to give Arthur that fucked up hairstyle. Like, let's be honest. It just didn't fit Arthur's character. What do y'all think? I think this looks way better. But they made the deliberate choice to give him this big, swooped out, poofy hair with highlights, something that is mostly associated with like a white guy. You know, this kind of like a hairstyle you'll see on like Brad Pitt or like maybe like a white male model or something. And it was just like, why?
Could somebody please make it make sense?
And looking back on it, I wasn't the only one who felt this way. One tweet even said, although Arthur looks like he used to front a regionally successful pop punk band in the late 2000s that was just a few years too late to really catch the big commercial wave, so then he got into tech startups. And just look at this. Look at the hair, chin hair. Do y'all really think this is how Arthur should have looked? Do you really think the animators and designers gave him his best look to what we know Arthur to be? Really? Really? You had people saying he looked like he wants to sell an NFT. You had people saying he looked like he worked at GameStop. People say he looked like Pete Wentz. Some people even say he looked like a basement dweller. Forgetting that people thought Arthur was a black character, this hairstyle, this look doesn't fit how most people think he should look. Then you had the collage of Arthur not black? Why Arthur got that cut? He not black? You're telling me Arthur wasn't black this whole time? Yeah, look at this one. I absolutely believe Arthur would played around with different looks and hairstyles. I just refuse to believe he would have settled on a layered swoop bang with highlights. He just wouldn't. I also don't think he would keep 8 chin hairs. Like, let's be for real. And my favorite one right here. First off, why Arthur got that hair? He's
Nigga.
Now, this could go into a deeper discussion. You know, a lot of black guys, some don't have hair like mine. Some don't keep their hair like mine. Some may permanent hair, may want the hairstyle that Arthur had. But the deliberate choice to give him that hairstyle, it just didn't seem right. And to me, it added to the episode not delivering a final punch that was satisfying. As you see, as I discussed earlier, with Buster and George, they just gave them no hair. They just had the ears, antlers.
I never imagined you'd write a graphic novel.
But with Arthur, the hair choice they gave him made a lot of people be like, was Arthur supposed to be black?
You think you know? You have no idea.
So looking back on the episode, the final episode of Arthur, the final curtain call, I wanted to know, what did y'all think? When y'all saw Arthur's final design, were you pleased? Were you happy? Were you excited? Or were you thrown off like me, not satisfied? Were you underwhelmed? And growing up, or even watching Arthur over the years, did you associate certain races or ethnicities with the characters of Arthur? Or did you just see, oh, it's a cartoon, the animals, it don't matter? But I know I'm not the only one who felt like certain characters were supposed to fit certain races or like culture. And the final question I can ask y'all is, did y'all think Arthur was supposed to be a black character? Let's talk about this down below. This should be a really interesting and fun discussion. Let's really talk about this because although the answer may seem obvious, there's a lot of varying opinions, especially when that episode came out with that look they gave him, with that hairstyle they gave him. Let's really talk about it. Do you think Arthur was black? With that, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Thank you for watching and listening. I'll see y'all in the next video.
This wig got to go, man.